And yet, you tweeted out the following. You said, I am fully aware of the onslaught of attacks being made against me based upon my revelations about Chief Justice Roberts. Before attacking me, maybe fair-minded people would first ask Justice Roberts to tell the truth. Or ask Jeffrey Epstein. He is alive. Now, after you hit send, 61,000 people shared that tweet. It's been loved by 136,000 people. And I think about 1/4 of America has questioned your sanity, while 3/4 of Americans are saying, yes, I know it. I know it. A lot of people have looked it up, and his death doesn't make sense. It's it's very odd how he, quote unquote, died. We could get into the details of that. How do you know that Jeffrey Epstein is alive?
I have three reliable sources that say that is the truth.
3.
And I have no reason to doubt them. And I have a significant amount of documentary evidence involving air flight travel, involving financial transactions in his account. Mm-hmm. They only add up to one thing. Old Jeffrey is still alive. Now, everybody wanted you to think that he committed suicide. But then there was another large body of people that didn't buy it. They thought he was murdered, right?
Right.
Either way, he's dead. So they want you to think he's dead, whether it's by suicide or murder. I'd be thinking more of the opposite. If they want you to believe he's dead, that means he's alive. Jeffrey Epstein, they don't want Jeffrey Epstein dead. The people that he has the ability to blackmail and control, they don't want to kill him. Why not? Because they don't know what his insurance policy is. They don't know that if they kill him, what it will trigger in terms of his revealing the videotapes and the things that he has on all of these people. So they'd rather keep him alive, keep him fat and happy somewhere where he continues to live a good life, and he doesn't have any reason to tell the truth on all these people. And we're talking about some of the most powerful people in the world. I believe that Jeffrey Epstein has them on videotape. I believe much of it deals with pedophilia. And so they're not going to kill him and have it trigger his insurance policy where the information gets released. They're going to keep him alive. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Is there anything that, because I know some listeners are going, how can you prove it? Is there anything, I have a link to ibtimes.com where there is evidence of his account, his financial accounts being used, although he is supposedly deceased. So somebody's using his money. Do you have any other evidence that people could look up or to verify what you're saying?
I can't recall as I sit here right now what his tail number is on his plane, but I'd track that plane. I'd track that tail number, and I'd find out when it burned up.
Got it.
It was after he allegedly died. I'd try to track where his plane went to after he allegedly died, whether in fact it flew to Antarctica, whether it flew down to Newfoundland.
Yep.
I'd take a look at some hard facts. If you do, they're going to support the proposition that he's alive. Now, are they going to be individually proof positive? No. Because the only proof positive he's going to have is if he steps out into a camera and says, hey, I'm Jeffrey Epstein and I'm alive. But in law, we build our cases every day on circumstantial evidence. If the circumstantial evidence sufficiently exists, it proves a fact that while not proven by direct evidence, is proven by circumstantial evidence. The circumstantial evidence is overwhelming that Jeffrey Epstein is alive. The direct evidence, like I said, you're going to have to show him in front of a camera, except I have what I believe is direct evidence from 3 reliable sources that tell me he's alive. In fact, I have information about where he is, but I'm not going to discuss it because I don't know what's being done about him.
Okay. Now,
so all I can tell you is I would not. I'm imperfect. I can say something on Twitter that turns out to be wrong. If I find out I'm wrong, I quickly try to correct it. But I know as a lawyer, as a defamation lawyer, that if my statement is true, I have a defense. If my statement turns out not to be accurate, as long as I had a reasonable basis to believe it to be true, I have a defense. The problem is if someone sues me, is it opens the door to full discovery. And once you open the door to discovery, you open the door to truth. I will listen to all this nonsense about Dominion threatening to sue people. Dominion's not going to sue anybody. They're threatening people to get the result that some people are giving them.
Right.
They stop talking. They get intimidated. They get afraid. They don't want to get sued, and the idea of paying millions of dollars. They need to have the courage to step forward and continue to speak the truth. Dominion is not going to sue anybody because they're dirty.